Hello, everybody. This is Robert from RJL 518, welcoming you to a special project preview I have for upcoming Payoff Pitch Baseball. Um, After completing a couple of series that I did, the 1969 runner-up series between the Twins and the Braves, and just recently the 2019 runner-up series between the Yankees and the Cardinals. I also did a couple of other games, a couple of other matchups earlier. The Cubs and Mets, which there's a real crazy game there you might want to take a look at. A lot of the games were pretty much were very fluid, and some of the games were kind of nutty. So if you haven't checked any of my other games on my channel, please subscribe, hit likes, and please go ahead and take a look at the games and see what you like. For those of you who don't know about Payoff Pitch Baseball, Payoff Pitch Baseball is done by Joe Bryan. He is a one-man show, and he created, in my opinion, maybe one of the better baseball games that are out there. Everyone has their Stratomatics, their APBAs, their inside pitches, and Dynasty League and such. Payoff Pitch was my choice for a couple of reasons. A, I like the pitcher-batter confrontation, and B, you can't knock out the card quality. For some people that would like to know, Payoff Pitch is done very, very well. The rules can be a little bit vague once in a while, but the thing about it is you always make changes a little bit here and there. There's many different ways to play the game. You got not many charts because most of the games are done off the cards, and it's a lot simpler than some people think. It's very free flowing, and I think it's and you can play the game different ways. You can play it with dice only. You can play it with fast action cards only, or you can play it both. Either way, it works. It was designed. I prefer the hybrid way. I prefer using the dice as the main role, and then using the cards for the supplementary roles and for chart lookups that the cards use for the dice. Okay, enough about that. What if you notice the title, you'll see what the title is, and the title pretty much states 1994 season restart. I just received, I have pretty much getting all of his seasons, but the one I just recently received was a season I was waiting for, and that was the 1994 season. Now, the 1994 season, I noticed that for some of you who went ahead and, okay, and, you know, watching some of my videos, you notice I was sneaking a preview about a strike year. When I notice most people play strike years seasons on from whether it's on action like PC baseball or Out of the Park or any of the other baseball games, or of course Stratomatic. A lot of people choose the 1981 season. I rarely ever see anyone do the 1994, and the reason why is because the 94 season is incomplete. At first, I thought I would go ahead and maybe just take a look at the 94 season and take a look at it, see who was leading at the team at the time, and just do like a modern day playoffs version, okay, of the 1994 season. But then I said, you know what? Joe Bryan does have some quick results charts available for other seasons, so you can simulate in the background. And I really do not want to use computers. I really don't want to use. I do have a copy of Stratomatic PC. I have Out of the Park. I have Action. I really do not want to use anything that has to utilize computer. If this is a dice game, then the dice should decide the game outright, no AI. So here's what we do. And he released a bunch of Payoff Pitch quick result charts for some of the seasons. I mean, for some of the seasons here, I'll give you a little bit of a look. I mean, he did release for for 1948, 1964, 1973, 1987, 2014. He's still working on others. But the dude, he did not do in 1994. I'm not 100% if I got it right, but I think I was close, and that'll be good enough for me. So what we're gonna do for the next program is, instead of just doing the 1994 playoffs, I'm gonna finish out the season. So that's our project. It's going to be the 1994 season restart, not replay, restart. And we're going to pick it up, and we're actually going to pick this up from Friday, August 12th, which was the day that Thursday, August 11th was the last day that the 94 season was played before they went on strike. Friday, August 12th is when the season was supposed to. This is where we got to pick it up at. There's not that many games, only about most teams. And you take a look here at this quick results chart that I constructed utilizing a formula that might be very close to his. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll take it as it is for now. You'll notice here that at this time of the year and at the end of the season, most teams played around 113, 112, 111 games. This is the American League, and you can see the New York Yankees led it at the time. They had 70 wins. The Baltimore Orioles are right behind them, about 7 games, maybe about 7.5 back. The Toronto Blue Jays were then the Red Sox and Tigers. In the American League Central, the Chicago White Sox had a very slim lead on the Cleveland Indians. It was a 3-horse race that year in the Central between the Chi Sox, Indians, and Royals. And the West, which was an absolutely horrible division, because the Texas Rangers were 10 games under 500, and they led that division. That division was just god-awful in 1994. And we're probably going to be on its way to actually having a team with a losing record make the playoffs. That's what happens when you go to a 3-division alignment, in my opinion. And of course, 1994 was also the first year they went to the 3-division alignment, because in 1993, when the Marlins and the Rockies entered baseball, there was just still East and West in both leagues. 1994 was the first year of the new playoff format, where they would divide the teams into 3 divisions. And remember, you'll see the Detroit Tigers were in the East because the Devil Rays and the Diamondbacks didn't come into the league until '98. So the Tigers were in the East. Milwaukee, of course, is still in the American League, okay, and Houston, of course, still in the National League. So you had 5, 5, 4, okay, at this time, and they went to the 3-division alignment. To this day, I can't stand it. I just think it should be East, West, and that's it. Forget this 3-division alignment crap. They wanted some reason to get more playoffs, so they felt by doing it this way it would work. It's amazing that in the first year of the new playoff format, it was very possible they could have had a team with a losing record get in, which would be unheard of because that's never happened in baseball history, okay, back in the days when they only had the 2 divisions in each league. Never happened before. There was always 2 teams that were very much worthy of getting in the playoffs. So 52, it's very possible how the Rangers could have ended, or the Athletics, or even the Mariners, who were not out of it yet. They're only 3 games back, okay, and the Angels are only 5 out, okay, in that division. So very possible you could have had, for the first time ever, a team with a losing record making the playoffs in baseball. This is why I think the 3-division alignment stinks. It should have left me at 12. It should have been a 2-division alignment. Oh well. The National League is actually almost as bad. In this case, though, the Expos and Braves were leading the National League East. My Mets were pretty much not really in it. As you can see, the Expos had 74 wins, at 55 wins. So the Mets were easily at least 19 games out because the Expos were running away with the East. The National League Central was as close, very close. You had 2 very good teams there, in the Reds and the Astros. The Pirates were about 13 games back, so it was going to be a 2-horse race in the Central. The West, same thing. The National League, just like the American League West was bad, the National League West isn't as much better. The Dodgers do lead the division, but only with a 2-game lead. Only with 2 games at over 500. The Giants were only 3 back. The Giants were pretty much 3 back. Okay, the Rockies were into their 2nd year of existence. They were actually in this. They were pretty much 5 games out. So they were not out of it yet. The Padres, however, were pretty much done. So the 1994 season is incomplete. And I think that's one of the reasons why many people don't play it, because, well, they really don't know how to deal with it, because you can't replay something that, well, wasn't played. I mean, you could go ahead you could do it with computer action PC baseball or something, and just use the schedule. So, all right, fine. But can you do this with dice? Of course you can. So that's what so of all the seasons that I was a lot of interest, and I'm still waiting for Joe to release the 86 season. That's his next target, is the 1986 season, after he reprints 2012 and 2014. And I'll probably play a full Mets season when that's done. Go Mets. But 1994 has always captured my attention as a season that just never got done. So let's finish it off. So here's what we're going to do. The 1994 season, this is thanks to Baseball Sim Research. Baseball Sim Research actually has the remaining schedule for 1994. This is the remaining schedule. Now it does not. Now these were as scheduled games. This is not does not include any makeups for rainouts, at least as I believe. These are just the games that were scheduled automatically. Okay, and I'm not sure about rainouts. I'll worry about that probably after I complete the main schedule. Am I going to play every game on the schedule? Of course not. I'm not that much of a glutton for punishment, but I will play one game out of that schedule per day of it, and I'll choose pretty much, in my opinion, the best game available, and then I will let the dice decide, utilizing the quick results chart, how the other games go. There are ways to you can detail scoring if I want. I could say, well, this team beat this team and the score was 5-1. Scoring, I'm not going to be really keeping that many as far as stats. Okay, just wins and losses, just to see what kind of a record we get at the end, so we can do the playoffs. This is how his quick results chart, his basic one, works. If you don't want to use scoring, let's say the New York Yankees are playing the Detroit Tigers. The Yankees, okay, are 70 wins and 43 losses, are rated as an A team according to this scale that I constructed. This is not Joe Bryan's actual scale, okay? This is just a scale that I'm maybe close enough to maybe getting it right, but if I'm not, that's okay. Don't go with this. This is not official. That's just my scale that I utilize to scale these teams correctly, so I can get a letter grade, all right, and see what happens when we roll the dice. So let's say the Yankees play the Tigers in a game in August 12th. Damn, I can't talk today. The Yankees have a rating of an A, and the Tigers have a rating of a D. According to the American League results chart, the matchup is A versus D. The favorite team is always first. So the Yankees are the A team, and the Tigers are the D team. In order for the Yankees to win, they have to roll a 2-6 or 9-10. For the Tigers to win, 7-8, 11-12. So if I was just go ahead and roll for that, it's a 7, okay? And actually today in this game, the Detroit Tigers actually get a big win over the Yankees, and the Yankees go from 77-43 to 70-44, and the Tigers go to 54-62. Let's say we roll again. Same thing. It's an 8. And now again, the Tigers get they're the underdog, and again, they get a big win. Okay? Let's go for the third game. 5. Now the Yankees go ahead and get it favored by the win. These results charts I'm using are actually from his 1987 quick results, because this is the closest to 94, and I think they're going to be pretty decent. Now, let's say the same grade. Let's say the Yankees play the White Sox, and here's the same grade chart here: A, B, B, C, C, D, D, F, F. And you roll here, and it's a 9. And in this case, the visiting team, whoever was the visitor, let's say the White Sox are at the Yankees, the visiting team wins, because the home team is usually favored most games anyway, unless in a battle of same grades. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and write down. I'll go ahead and maybe circle the winner here, and then on this sheet, I'll go ahead and add the results. So let's say the Yankees won, I'll cross out 70, make it 71, and 63, and so forth. If I run out of space, I'll just make another sheet. Just simple enough to keep the stats. I do not want to use a computer. This is a dice game that uses dice and cards. Forget AIs. The problem with AIs is AIs can skew certain things, and I'll tell you the truth, I really don't trust certain engines out there. I don't trust the out of the park engine once in a while. Most of the time, really, I don't trust out of the park, because their AI sometimes gets a little gamey, and same thing with Action PC Baseball. So screw AIs. I don't want no game engine. The only engines we're going to use is Payoff Pitch, and a quick results chart, and this is off a Payoff Pitch. This is not a fast score that Replay Baseball has, which also seems to be excellent. Fast score could be useful. History Maker Baseball also has something like this as well available for people that use HMB. Pretty much many of them have like a quick results, so you don't have to use your computer. So that's how we're going to use for that. We're going to use to get the results for the other games that are not played. Now, what about we're going to do for rosters and such? Rosters are tricky because rosters are a bit tricky because after Thursday, August 11th, there's no replay. So I'll have to go ahead and create starting lineups and certain rosters and certain 25-man rosters for players. If there is an injury, I will, and it happens in game, and that's the only way I'll have an injury is in game, okay? Because I have to play that game for an injury to occur. I'll worry about it then. I'll probably bring up somebody, and depending on how long the injured player is out. In order to get the best rosters, in order to get the best roster, I went ahead and go on Baseball Reference and check the rosters. So I will utilize pretty much the players that were used most at a certain position. If there was a 50-50 or close to a 60-40, that player is going to be on my bench. It's going to be 13. It's going to be 13 batters, and it's going to be 13 batters and 12 pitchers in the American League, and I believe it is 12 batters and 13 pitchers in the American League. Remember also, this is 1994. We did not have interleague play yet. That did not start until 97. So there are no interleague games being played yet until then. So everything is AL versus AL and NL versus NL. So in a way, I went ahead and decided, I can already tell you that the first game I'm going to do for Friday, August 12th, is the Houston Astros versus the Atlanta Braves. That's going to be the first game done. The reason why was because, first of all, it's a big series, okay? Houston is a 66-49. They're a B. The Braves are 68-46. Actually, that was the series of the weekend. That was a big series when the Astros and the Braves. That was the series of the weekend. The next game probably, I think, I'm going to probably do the Toronto Blue Jays and the New York Yankees for Saturday, August 13, and Sunday, August 14. Probably the Mets and the Expos. Probably the New York Mets and the Montreal Expos, see how the Expos looked at, how they look, because they were one of the top teams. A lot of people say they were the best team in 1994. They had the best record. Okay, true. All right. Could they have won the World Series? We're going to figure that out. So utilizing the cards that were sent, because in 1994, there's another issue because of 1994 seasons. A lot of people say the 94 season's incomplete, and there is. There were no September call-ups. Because the season ended in the middle of August, no teams are able to make September call-ups for the 40-man roster. Now, of course, now in today's league, it's a 28. It was supposed to be, since unfortunately we don't have any baseball, it was a 28-man roster called up. Okay, so there was no more 40-man rosters after this. I thought that was kind of dumb. I understand you want to keep the league from getting watered down a little bit in September, but it was always nice to have that one pitcher that was maybe a AA or AAA, bring him up to the majors and let him have a shot. I mean, if your team is out of it, fine, give somebody else a turn to see what you can find. You might find that diamond in the rough, but now you go to the 28-man roster, you really can't do that. So you have to start with the players you have, and because there's really no more big call-ups to give that one pitcher a great chance to play a pitch, or that one batter a great chance to bat in front of his family and such. That's what baseball is, a family game. It really is, and I think cutting out the 40-man, the expansion of the 40-man roster at the end of the year, I just think I thought was kind of dumb. There still is a 40-man roster, but now you can only go up to 28 for the rest of the year after starting September. I don't know. And then, of course, we got that stupid 3-batter rule. Okay. And then, of course, baseball is going to do the runner on second crap. No. In extra innings, no, we're not doing that. We're going to play 1994 rules, okay, for this matchup. So the lefty one-out specialist and all that still exists. We're not playing rules, except for one thing. Why do you play 162 games to play one? Why do you do that? As far as the current baseball playoff, rules are set, I have no issue except for one important thing. You should not be playing a 1-game wild card game. It should be a 3-game wild card series. If we were to keep it as what I was planning to do was, at least, let me go back to the National League. It's easier. The National League, it would have been the Montreal Expos, the Reds, and the Dodgers would have gotten the division. According to this, the Atlanta Braves have the better winning percentage, and they automatically make the playoffs as the 4th wild card. If we were using the 94 rules, only 1 wild card gets in. In today's rule, 2 wild cards get in, so the Braves and the Astros would have automatically made it. And then the Braves and the Astros will play a 1-game playoff. Screw the 1-game playoff. it's going to be a 3-game series at the highest wild card record. So in this case, Houston would be going to Atlanta for a 3-game series in Atlanta. Okay, and if the Braves win 2 out of 3, it's over. Of course, you give one team a chance to come back after, because anything we've already seen in certain wild card games, anything is possible. All right. And I just think, why do you, since baseball is based on a series format, why are you just playing one game, okay, after 162? I don't understand that. So you're going to play a best of 3 is what you're going to do. And it will be at the wild card winner. Well, at the wild card, highest record of the wild card. What I was planning to do, however, in the American League was, because it was so close, because the Orioles, Indians, and then the Royals were right here. The Orioles have less wins than the Royals, but they had a better winning percentage than the Royals did. I was thinking of just going ahead and a playoff between these two real quick, a one-game playoff there, and then the winner there would play the Indians. But then I said, you know what, why don't I just play out the season, finish the season out? So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to play we're going to go ahead and play the remaining games of the 1994 season, and we're going to start on Friday, August 12th. The game I will present that day will be the Astros and the Braves. That will be what I'm going to call the reopening day for 1994. And then I'll go ahead and I'll choose a game from each date. I'm going to try not to duplicate teams within a 3-day period. I'm going to try not to do that. We want to see other teams played. We just don't want to see. We do want to see the teams that we're leading. So we're going to see the Yankees, the White Sox, the Indians, the Orioles, the Rangers. We're still leading the West. And of course, the National League, the Expos, Braves, the Reds, Astros, and Dodgers. But yeah, we still want to see. We still want to see the Mets. We still want to see the Pirates, the Cardinals once in a while. We still want to see the Red Sox. You still want to see other teams, and I'm going to try to do that to be as not random. The word random doesn't mind, to be all over. Okay, so every team. I don't know if I can get every team in there, but I'm going to do my best to see if I can get most of the teams played. So you at least see each team at least once, if possible. And I only have about 113, so I only got about less than 50 games to do with. So, in order to get that done. So that's my idea. That's our project. Probably started. I was thinking of starting it as soon as possible, but I still got to get the other teams set up. But because the date was Friday, August 12th, was when is where they left off of after playing the Thursday games. So I could start the season, the reopening season on Friday. It gives me plenty of time to get the teams all set and scheduled and ready to go. As far as starting pitchers, I was thinking I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Nah, because sometimes you're always going to get the star versus the star. We don't always want to see that, and sometimes it wasn't always that way. So what I will do is I will take the top 5 starting pitchers, and I'll roll a die to decide which starting pitcher will start that game. Of course, you guys won't know. That'll be done behind the scenes. So it'll be a random starting pitcher for each team. So for this game between Houston and Atlanta, you could be seeing Doug Drabeck versus Greg Maddux, or you could see Steve Avery, Steve Avery on the mound for the Braves instead, and vice versa. So that's how I'm going to do it. It's going to be random pitchers. I will of course check. I will of course check to see if I play that. Of course, I'm not going to know which pitchers pitch the other games because I'm not going to know about that because I'm not doing that, and that just takes too long. But what I will do is that if, let's say, because I'm going to play Houston Atlanta on Friday. The best game on Monday, August 15th, was Houston Atlanta again. So that's only 2 days away from this game. So whoever pitches in this game, you will not see in the rematch on Monday between the Astros and the Braves. So you won't see that. So we're gonna have some randomized pitchers. The starting lineups I will put together as best as I possibly can. I do prefer traditional lineups, but sabermetrics can figure a little bit traditional. Plus, 1990s baseball is still different from today's baseball. You did have a lot of pitchers being yanked out okay, early, okay, but they still had pitchers pitch deep into innings. It wasn't, and pitch count was still important, but most pitchers pitched into most pitched into seventh and eighth innings still. Not as much as it was in the 80s, but in the 1990s, when, and of course, as we all know, 1990s, the steroid era is about to begin at this time as well. Okay, as the defensive era was pretty much from 1980 to about 1992, we now enter the defensive era, 93, we now enter the steroid era. So this is when steroids started becoming a major issue. Because of course everyone remembers 1998 when McGuire and Sosa were just blasting home runs. It was almost like the baseball weighed less than an ounce, and every time they hit it, it went out of there. Okay, and and so on and so forth. So this is mid 1990s baseball. It is still a little different. It is still different from today's baseball. I sound like I'm rambling, I know, but I'm trying to get my point across to all you guys. So that's what I got planned. I'm going to still set up a few things, and maybe I might do an exhibition game somewhere just to test something out. But maybe a spring training 1994 spring training restart. I'll see what I want to do for that. But that's what I got planned. So for those of you who are looking forward to more Payoff Pitch Baseball, we're going to go back. We're going back in time to the year 1994. And I think this is a great season to do because we're just going to finish it off is what we're going to do. And we'll see how the dice roll. And pretty much it's still pretty fair. So a team like the Montreal Expos here with an A, if they play the Marlins, still got a very good chance to win games. But remember, though, it was pretty, baseball is baseball. On any given day, anybody can beat anybody. Okay, it's just you know how good a team is by the amount of wins and how well they play, and sometimes they have that bad day. Okay, but following this, I'm pretty sure we're going to be pretty close to maybe what the season might have been. But then again, who knows? Okay, if anybody if anybody out there has done the 1994 season on their computers with Action or with Out of the Park or Diamond Mind or Pursue the Pennant or anything like that or Dynasty League, post it in the comments. Let me know what you thought. So, how you think it turned out, because this is a season I think a lot of people seem to forget. And I don't want to forget it. I got the 94 season. I want to play the rest of it out. And that's what we're going to do. So, that's it. I want to thank you for listening to me ramble on for 27 minutes and change. It'll be about 28 minutes. So, again, I thank you very much for your time and welcome you back to more exciting Payoff Pitch Baseball. Game 1 of the series, as I said, I'm probably going to do Friday. It will be the Houston Astros versus the Atlanta Braves. And that's going to be that's going to be 1994 reopening, 1994 restart reopening day. And that's going to be held at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium. So until then, I want to say stay safe, be healthy, and I'll see you next time. And again, have a good day, everybody. Take care.